Somebody let me know if, when you get in here, if you can hear me better. We had a complete debacle when I tried this a minute ago, but it seems like now maybe everything is doing a little better. All right, I see some people are joining. I hope, I'm trying just to get to a place on my computer where I can see your comments. It's working now? That's good. That sounded awful. I was trying this ridiculous, I don't know, Logitech dual mic and camera webcam that I found in a drawer somewhere. I guess, I don't know if the microphone went or what. But once again, bear with me. I'm glad there's no more squirrels. I'm just trying to get to a place where I can see all of the comments so that we can talk. Whole point tonight, I didn't have really anything to do, so I thought maybe I'd come down here in the garage and BS with you guys. We could talk about some projects and stuff. I'm a big fan of getting to know our viewers because then I can do content that you guys want to see more. I hate shooting blind. Like, hey, I don't know if anybody's gonna want to see this, but if we talk, oh, we got Nicholas Fowler in here. All right, Nick Fowler's the guy who bought Little Buck. I've been meaning to show you guys the pictures of Little Buck now. He's what is he, Nick? 4.5 inches up on like 32, 33s. Is it something like that? My computer is being absolutely awful. As you guys know, Eric is the IT guy for D&E in the garage, and I am not, and that's all there is to it. There. Let me turn my volume off, and then we'll be in business. These things always start so painfully, I feel like an idiot. All right. Here we go. So, Saturday night, you guys decided to join in. What should we talk about? You will notice I've got the Dirty Bird Honda motor up behind me. I was trying to work on the electrical today. That is proving to be real difficult. The breaker points are all screwed up, and I can't really find new ones. Well, I can on like eBay. I don't trust eBay. I was just talking to Project Dan about this the other day. Dan, you get all your stuff on eBay, right? That's what you were saying. But I don't know, it all looks sketchy. It's like clearly some guy dug it out of a barn. Is it going to be any better than the one I've already got? I don't know. Oh, man. Oh, four-wheel driver's in here. Four-wheel driver is somebody you guys know from the comments. Always leave some great comments there. It is his wife Sarah's birthday tonight. I promised I would do a shout-out, so happy birthday, Sarah. You're a heck of a wife for allowing your husband to watch some idiot live stream on your birthday. Hopefully you guys had a good night. All right, let's see what's going on in these comments here. I appreciate y'all coming out. Like I said, I was just bored. Figured, hey, let's talk about some stuff tonight. Another good piece of news. I got this thing working today. Yeah, I was real happy. Actually, last night, if you guys didn't see the video, Eric got this Milwaukee M12 ratchet for what, $10, Eric? Off some guy out in Pennsylvania. Didn't work. Didn't spin. I thought it was the common issue. These things have a common issue where they get gunked up with grease, and then the pistons don't push on the pressure plate. So I took it all apart. Come to find out, the crankshaft was broken. I think I have that. Yeah, crankshaft was broke right off. You can kind of see that. Anyway, I didn't think I could find it, and then a viewer sent me a link to the crankshaft. I found it. I tore it all apart. And so the crankshaft was $4. Eric paid $10. Now I have the Milwaukee M12. I was using it, pulling the valve cover off of that thing today. It's pretty awesome. Four-wheel driver's confirming. Did have a good night with the wife. Glad to hear it. Nick's saying he wants to meet up. If you weren't here when I mentioned it, Nick bought Little Buck, the beloved XJ that we had on this channel. My first plow Jeep. Nick, we should definitely meet up. I'd love to see Little Buck. If you'd be down with it, I'd love to do a short little video on where he's come, because our viewers, you guys watch Little Buck videos for a year. I think a lot of you maybe subscribe to D&E because of the XJ content. I know a lot of you guys are XJ drivers. We did some good XJ videos. The time delay relay one, everybody really liked that. I thought that was a pretty good fix. The headliner video was in Little Buck. That's one of our videos that's blown up recently. We got Uncle Jerry out here tonight. Our good buddy Dave at, what is it, Out of Your Head, made us up a sample Uncle Jerry cup that I've been swigging all my drinks out of recently. I promised David we're going to get him an order. We're going to get those out to maybe our patrons or something at some point. Speaking of that, Eric and I are saving up our pennies so that these live streams don't have to be so chaotic anymore. And we're going to get a either 7 or 8 GoPro. Eric's researching that now so that in the future we can do live streams where I don't sound like a squirrel for the first 5 minutes and then have to scramble and find my phone. And then I think if we have the 8, we can do them in the junkyard, right, buddy? Is that the idea? Eric's in the comments there. Eric's up at our family in upstate New York right now. The reason I'm bored tonight is because Eric hasn't been around in a month. He's been traveling all over visiting family, and Eric's my only friend. So, so I got nothing to do but get angry at this Honda. I almost threw it today. I hate electrical work, man. It's like, it's just magic, you know? It's just, and I don't know if what I have is even there. I was looking into changing it over to a CDI, which is just a little brain box, so you don't have to mess around with the breaker points up here, but I'd have to change out the flywheel and the rotor in there, and that's way more difficult than just arguing with these breaker points. So that's what it's going to be. Oh man, you guys are having a whole conversation in the comments. I think what you guys are talking about is better than what I am. I should just shut up and join you guys. Oh, someone's saying they got a 82 XL. Huh. Yeah, man. If what you're saying in the comment there is that you're looking to sell it, we've got an email address, DND Offroad, DANDE Offroad at gmail.com. If you're looking to sell, I mean, I've got most of the parts I need for this thing. I think I'm going to rebuild my forks, but if anybody has a working ignition system for a 1978 Honda XL 175, I would give you just about any amount of money to have that, because I want this bike to be running, but I really don't want to have to mess with this thing. Got a lot of good projects coming up. I went crazy on Rock Auto yesterday. I got all new tie rod ends for the WJ because they got some real sloppy steering, and I got hydraulic lifters. Do any of you guys watch Martin Built? Martin Built is the opposite of a monkey with a hammer or a monkey with a toolbox. He's someone who actually knows what he's doing, and he's dang good at it. And he's got a WJ with a 4.7, and he loves to point out the catastrophic issues with the 4.7, which then gives me nightmares. So I bought, I have a leaking valve cover gasket. I figure while I'm in there, I might as well do all my hydraulic lifters. He was in the junkyard, Martinville was, and he found a 4.7 head where the lifter had collapsed and the rocker arm shot out and it shattered the head and all this. So I haven't been able to sleep. And so we're going to do hydraulic lifters, try to get a video out on that. And four-wheel driver, you don't mind electrical? Come on out to Jersey, man. Oh, man. Electrical is just hard to me. It's the same reason I'm not good with computers. I can't just touch it. Like this thing, I took it apart, I saw the crankshaft was physically broken, I put a new one in, now it works. With the electrical, it's like, hey man, is it not working because there's some random ground I don't know about? Because this thing is not actually making contact. I've got this coil over here that I think is the original coil, and I don't know if they go bad. It's got the capacitor over here, maybe that goes bad. Like any of these stupid little things could be the issue. But I can't just run out to Wally World and get a replacement capacitor for a coil for a 1978 motorcycle. Oh, goodness. Somebody brought up a good suggestion, though. If we don't get this motor running, we are absolutely going to get like an 8 or 11 horsepower Predator motor to put on it from Harbor Freight there. I don't want to go that direction because I'd love to have the bike restored. Eric and I were talking about it. You'd have to gear it like crazy. Like I don't even know what a dirt bike with no gears and just like 11 horsepower would be like. You know what I mean? You'd have to gear it so it had crazy torque, otherwise you just burn the tires off immediately. I'll bet someone on YouTube has done that, and I don't know. That's plan B though. Plan A is get this thing fixed. I have a buddy, Eric and I have a buddy we grew up with who's got a 125. and he's the one that got us all hooked on. Yeah, Eric just said it. Doug and computer are like oil and water. The other thing I had to do, I put the latency up on this video, so I think there's a delay between what I'm saying and what you're saying and when we both get to see it, in trying to get the quality up. It's real hard down here with the light. Like, I'm actually in the dark right now. I know it doesn't look like it for you guys, but I had like my normal lights on and everything looked weird, right? So there's like halos, so my overhead light's off, that's off, I don't know, whatever. Let's see. Let's catch up with some comments, man. Eric and I are having a little conversation right now. You like my old Mill shirt, dude? It's I got it when we used to go. The old Mill Tavern in Long Valley, New Jersey. Well, I guess it might be technically in Chester, New Jersey. Makes the best wings outside of my own kitchen. I obviously make the best wings in the world, if y'all didn't know. But they make some crazy wings. They used to do 50-cent wings, and I think every single Wednesday they'd do the wing special. From the time we were 21 until the time we had kids, Eric and I would be there every single Wednesday for, what's that, 8 years? Something like that. We spent a lot of good nights there. What Dave just checked in. Dave, I was showing off the mug before, and I was promising you your order as soon as I remember to do that. What else were you saying, Dave? CVT transmission. Check out Grind and Hard Plumbing Company on YouTube. Okay. What, is it like a CVT for the Predator or something? Is that what you're saying? Because that'd be cool. Like, you're saying I could put a CVT on, obviously not this, but like a little Predator engine. I was looking for like $700. You can get, was it a 17 horsepower? It's basically like a lawn tractor motor. Could you imagine strapping that to a little dirt bike frame? I don't know. Crazy. Dave, we're going to have to look at what you're talking about and figure that out, because that would be awesome. That would be really cool. Since getting this bike, I've gotten back into the dirt bike community. I joined, somebody actually on here told me to look up Honda hoarders on Facebook, and so I did, and it's just this crazy community, mostly people with the ATCs. What are the three-wheelers called? But long story short, it got me itching to start collecting bikes again. When we were young, Eric used to have a Blaster that he would ride around at 400 miles an hour with no helmet on, and I had a couple bikes. I think I told the story about my CR125 at one point, but dirt bikes are the best, man. They really are. That's why when I get this thing going, when Eric and my daughter, they're 2 months apart, when they get a little bit older, man, they're absolutely going to be tearing all around here. That you can probably, can you see it in the background? This is a motor we picked up for free with the express intention. We actually did a video on it. I don't think anybody watched it. It was back when the channel was small. We tried to get it running, and we got it running. It's just sitting there now. We were going to, I don't know, what were we going to do, Eric? Were we going to fabricate our own dirt bike frame, or were we going to swap it into a Jeep or something? I don't know. It's like a 8 horsepower log splitter motor. Yeah, I don't know. That kind of fell away. Doesn't matter. So what are you guys doing tonight? What's everybody else doing? Preston says he's 13 and has his own WJ47. Dang, buddy. Yeah, man, lots of people here talking about regret of selling bikes. When I think about the dirt bikes and quads I had that I just casually basically gave away, you know, because I traded them for all kinds of dumb stuff, it breaks my heart. I don't like Yamahas as much as Hondas, but I had a Yamaha DT250 that I think I just sold for beer money. It was a great little bike. It was in great shape too. I'm pretty sure this is actually a sticker off of it that I've had on my bench. You're never gonna be able to see that. I don't know, not that it matters, but I literally think I was in college and I was like, shoot man, we don't have any beer money. What can we do? And I was like, oh, I got that dumb Yamaha sitting in the garage. Yeah, man, these things are worth money today too. I went looking before I picked this one up out of my dad's barn to fix, just to buy an XL, and $5 grand if you want a nice running one, a reasonable running one. A non-titled basket case, which is basically would be this but put back together. Still, people are asking like $1 grand. You know what I mean? I guess they're disappearing. That's the problem. You know, they were titled bikes to begin with. Mine was actually on the road as recently as 1995. It has a New York inspection sticker. But then somebody like me gets a hold of it, they lose the title, and now it's only a dirt bike, and it just gets left in a barn somewhere, and before you know it, it's completely gone. You know, it's off to the scrapper or something. So if you find any of these bikes, they are definitely worth holding on to, man. Absolutely. Recovering from a wasp sting. That sucks, man. Wasps are awful. It's been, I shouldn't even say this. I used to get stung all the time. I haven't been stung in years. Knock on wood. Not really sure why. Lying on the couch. I dig it, man. I dig it. That's what I was going to be doing. I was going to be probably, I've been binge watching King of the Hill. Mike Judge is a genius. Have you guys ever seen The Wind? It's a music video by Zach Brown Band that is animated by Mike Judge. Oh man, it's amazing. Honestly, it's better than this live stream, so I would go watch it right now. It's friggin' hilarious. And if not, write it down for later because The Wind is awesome. Mike Judge is awesome. Like once every year or two, I'll rewatch the whole King of the Hill series. I think it's necessary. You know, I've watched a lot of live streams, and they are way better than I am at like interacting with comments and talking at the same time. I'm trying to remember any of the stuff I wanted to tell you guys about. I wanted to tell you about fixing this. This was huge because Eric gave me this damn near a year ago, and I never fixed it. I just sort of let it sit there. But these are great tools, man. Eric always gets new technology, and I always sneer at it because I'm a very against change kind of guy. Screw it, I'll just do it by hand, you know what I mean? And then I like borrow his, and then I always fall in love with it. It was the way with his impact gun. Eric, how much, you know what, did I give you for carrying the big impact gun around? You're just gonna break stuff, it's lazy, we could do it my way. And now every time I go to the yard, hey man, can I borrow the gun? It was the same way with this. I was like, he can't just undo a ratchet himself? Like, what? How lazy are you? And then I borrowed it one time. I borrowed it when we did and there's a video on this too. What was it? My WJ. Oh, when I broke the idler on my WJ, and we were in the yard, and it's a bunch of bolts that have a ton of threads, and they're down in there. Instead of going like this, you know, little inches, nope, zip it right out like that. I need to learn to trust Eric's judgment more. Dan, you're talking about the dank meats. I got some dank meats getting ready for tomorrow. I love making videos for you guys. I love working on crappy old engines that do not want to run. But right now, I am absolutely obsessed with barbecue, man. I got some ribs for tomorrow. We got some chicken thighs that I'm going to cook up, smoke up for the week. And Ash and I are making some of our world-famous wings for watching football tomorrow. We did a poll a little bit ago about whether or not our viewers like football, and the answer was, a little bit here or there. But in this house, we are huge football fans. Eric, my wife, and I are in 3 fantasy football leagues together. Eric's actually in a 4th. Yeah, man, we have a good time. Why are you bringing up moldy seats? That's rude. Someone said we should start a drinking game. I think this would be a good drinking game just in general. Whenever you're with people that talk about unibody Jeeps, every time somebody brings up the 5.9 liter ZJ, you drink. Because no matter what you're talking about WJs, and then you're talking about the 4 liter, and then you move to the 4.7, and inevitably somebody brings up the 5.9. Or you're talking about stuff you'd like to swap into your XJ to make it a little more powerful, and even though I don't think it's possible because the 5.9 is a very large engine, somebody's going, man, could you imagine a 5.9 XJ? Thing would hooin', right? 350s fit real nice in XJs, right? Yeah, man. Anyway, back to the dank meats. You guys saw, or maybe you didn't. Not many people watched it, but I did a video on building an ugly drum smoker, and yeah, man, we've been cooking up a lot of good food on that. Having a real good time with that. Let's see. Get a pellet smoker. Yeah, you know, now that I have the ugly drum smoker, it does have some limitations. I can't get the temp real low. Like below 200 is sort of a crapshoot. If it is below 200, it's just on accident. And then obviously whenever you remove the lid to do anything, the temperature soars because you're introducing more air. So I wouldn't mind getting a factory built smoker at some point. Rocky, you down in Texas? Is that what you're saying? Off-roading and barbecuing all day. Heck yeah, buddy. You know what I've been trying to think of? How I could build a hitch-mounted smoker, right? Not like a big trailer like they do. Just like, almost like my ugly drum smoker, but it just sort of goes into the hitch and it's just on the back of the Jeep, so I drive to wherever I'm going. We smoke all day, you know? Because a lot of people have asked me, like, oh man, this is great. I'm going to have a party. You think you can bring this over? And I'm like, that's kind of going to be a pain, you know? So I don't know, maybe that's a crazy project for someday down the line. Did I ever do ball joints on your Grand Cherokee? Not either of the ones I have now, but the silver one that we painted green on the channel when I first started the channel. We did ball joints in that. It's really not that bad. It's not a job that I enjoy, mostly because I don't own a ball joint press, so I have to rent the one from AutoZone, and they have the crappiest one possible. So what I usually do, Eric and I have a buddy who has the Snap-on one, the Snap-on ball joint press, which works much better. So I usually pay him to do it, honestly. That's like one of the only things I can think of that I pay somebody to do. But I think Ruby needs them, and Steve has a new job now where I don't think he's really doing that side work, so we will do a video on ball joints for sure. I think that'd be a real good video. I have a video on tie rod ends coming up. Actually, I have a lot of parts sitting over there. I think I mentioned in a video I got my trans pan gaskets just chilling there. I'm trying to get Ruby ready for the winter. I'm trying to not neglect Willie anymore. I took him out the other day, man, my lifted WJ. The wife and the kid were off doing something. I had to do some grocery shopping. I was like, screw it, I'm taking the lifted Jeep today, right? And I had a great time. Driving 2 Weiss to the grocery store was great, man. Windows down, music up, loving it, listening to the roar, the stupid muffler and the whine of my ridiculous tires, right? I'm on my way back, and I noticed there's a big billow of smoke behind my Jeep, and my rear caliper had locked on, and I had to marathon at home, hoping that nothing seized up and broke. So that was a lot of fun. So it's sitting in the driveway with a seized on caliper now. I have a set, so here's the reason the calipers are seizing up, because I take it mud in, and then I bring it home and it sits for 6 months, and everything rusts and all that. I have rifle rack for the WJ. That'd be pretty wild. Somebody, I don't know, man. I like guns, and I do know how to shoot guns, but I don't own any guns myself, so I think that might be one you have to do and make a video for us, but I would be interested to see it. I have been thinking for a while about a divider for the WJ. I got 3 dogs that I like to bring around with me, but the interior of Ruby is nicer than any other Jeep I've had so far, so I don't really want them walking on the seats, plus leather seats. And because of the kid, I've got the car seat, I can only put down 1 seat, so I was trying to think of a rack that goes in between the cargo area and the middle row of seats. I looked at them online. It doesn't look like any of them are very good. Any of the ones they make, they all like screw and put pressure on the headliner and stuff. People say they leave a mark and whatnot, so I don't really want to do that. I don't want to obviously weld one up. That'd be ridiculously heavy. I was thinking about wood, but my dogs are insane. My pit bull will just chew right through it. So I've been putting a lot of thought into that. If I figure that out, though, maybe you could use it for your rifle rack. That would be pretty interesting. What I was getting to with the brakes was I have some old, when I bought my Verilok axle for that Jeep, it had calipers on it, but mine were newer. So I've got some old calipers that are kind of rusty. I know people refurbish calipers. You take them all apart, you put new seals in them, you put new boots on them. So maybe we'll do a video on that if I can find the correct replacement parts. Not that they're expensive in the junkyard, but even if you get junkyard ones, like why not refurbish them? So that's why Willie's been sitting, is what I was getting at there, because I want to figure out what I want to do. You get it, man. The projects stack up. I was trying to come up with an actual number to catch up on all of the projects right now that I have open that I want to be working on. I think I would need like 10 grand and a month off of work. All right, that's something else I wanted to talk about. I put up a post a few days ago on YouTube. Let me see if I can find it real quick. It was something to the effect of, to all the car guys, car girls, Jeep, truck, whatever. Somebody came up to you and they offered you $100,000 a year for the rest of your life. You don't have to work for it. Let me find the exact thing. Someone comes up to you and offers you 100 grand per year for the rest of your life. You no longer have to work, as this money is a gift. The catch is that you have to sell your rides and cannot purchase new ones with the money you are given. For transportation, you can choose from a Hyundai Accent, a Toyota Prius, or a Chevy Aveo. You cannot mod these vehicles. You cannot even do your own maintenance. You have to take them to the dealership. You will be given a new vehicle every 5 years. Do you think you could do it? Now, obviously, when someone puts up a post like this, it's kind of just a joke, because I think a lot of people who said they wouldn't do it maybe would do it. But I was thinking about it for myself. My life would not be as full if I didn't have this. I have other hobbies, but something about me needs to come down in the garage. And I did a video on this too when I was changing my own oil. And just turn a bolt. You know what I mean? On a Friday night, sometimes I'll just come down here, no video to make, no repair. I'm just sort of open the hood, wipe a few things down, check a few fluids. There's something in me, and I think most car people are like this, where you need that. It's not like any other hobby. Like, I could give up barbecuing and I'll find a different hobby. I make knives and other woodworking. I'll give that up. I'll pick up one of the other things that I've always wanted to pick up. I could not give up being a Jeep guy, being a car guy. And I don't know that there are a lot of hobbies that are like that. Like, if you're, I'm really into watching NFL football. I like it a lot, to the point where I get, I read about it, I watch little videos about it, but I could give that up. I don't really want to. The way the Bears are playing so far this year, maybe I kind of do want to. But I would like to know from you guys if you think that is take a pay cut and not use my cars. I shall sooner die. I dig it, Dano. Dano's doing it big. The point was, do you think you could turn off the car guy thing? I know I couldn't. I could probably do any number of other things, but I don't think I could. Let's see what's going on out here. V8 in an XJ reminds me of V8 in a Vega. I dig that. Oh, man. Yeah, Fleet of WJs is talking about his front caliper locking up. That happened the worst day I've ever had last year. Eric and I were trying to go to a mud event. It was me and my wife and my kid in Willie, and Eric and his wife and his kid were following in their Subaru, I think. You didn't have Barney, right? Barney wasn't, I don't think, we're running. And it was like an hour and a half away up in Warwick, New York. We just kept hitting delays. Lunch took like 2 hours, and it finally culminated with, we got there and it was the wrong day. It was the next day, and I don't know how we just messed it up. And while we were talking to the guy figuring this out, I realized that my front tire's smoking. So now I'm an hour away from home, and caliper's all locked on. We got to get home. It was the worst day, basically, of my life. No way I'm a hands-on guy. I would completely be out of my comfort zone. I dig that, man. Ladder fell off a truck and his car was tailgating. Huh. Hey, Dave YJ. What's up, man? I understand the need to turn that wrench. I know. I've been talking to Dave a lot. Dave's up in the Great Maple Syrup Republic up there, Canada. I say that respectfully, of course. Got a real nice YJ. Does some crazy speaker enclosure work, like custom work. I was really digging that. Eric and I think we kind of got into working on cars through car audio. We put a wicked system in his, what was it, Eric? Country Squire, when we were like 12. We took like plywood and mounted like house speakers to it, and kind of just shoved it in the back of his Country Squire that he'd inherited from his grandfather. I don't know. We did pretty terrible, awful things to that car. Thankfully, we grew up and got a little bit smarter. Still very much monkeys with toolboxes, but you know. Oh man. Let's see. Dude, Ranger Pete, Solar Yellow XJ. I don't know what my favorite color of XJ is, but every time someone poses the question to me, Solar Yellow comes to mind first. For the WJ, it's Champagne Pearl. I love my Champagne Pearl. And for the ZJ, I think it's that Hunter Green. Whenever you see a 9859, they always seem to be that Hunter Green, right? Or the black limited with the gold. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. As long as you bedliner that Solar Yellow, I guess you're not into the Solar Yellow, man. Huh. It's so weird, the comments are on delay there, but oh, tinted bed liner, yeah, like Monster Liner. I've been giving some very serious thought to ripping all the carpeting out of my 2000 WJ and monster lining the floor. There's some rot underneath the carpet, and it makes it so that the carpet's always kind of damp. You guys know my whole Jeep was moldy last year, I think that contributed to a little bit. I've been monitoring it all summer, and I haven't had another mold issue, but I don't know, man. I don't daily that thing. It doesn't have air conditioning anymore. I mean, why not just go all in? At some point, I want Willie to be a buggy. I want to get big, thick metal rockers on there that I can start welding some tube on, and that's where Willie is going eventually, way down the line when I have some time. I follow a guy on Instagram, Living on Dirt. He took a ZJ, and I followed him when the ZJ was all in one piece, and now the ZJ is basically just a buggy. He lives out in the desert. Man, I'd kill to live out in the desert. Well, I hate the heat, but you see these people that, like, their backyard is basically Moab. You know what I mean? Like, I would do so much more wheeling. It's living in Jersey like this, it's a pain to get anywhere to wheel. You got to go out to Roush Creek, otherwise you're trespassing, you're on somebody's farmland. I've, knock on wood, never gotten a trespassing ticket, but I've been in some pretty sticky situations in places where I ought not to be, and that wouldn't be a problem. Or where Kyle lives, up in Bearded Jeeper, up in New Hampshire, they have old fire trails. I guess they're old roads that they fell into such disrepair that they just don't use them anymore. That he explained it once. What I just said is not right. He explained it to me what it is, but for us, they'd be like fire trails, basically, that you're allowed to go on as long as you're not being a jerk about it. Totally legal. That'd be awesome, man. You see, like, even in, like, Lost to Legacy, that first video he did where he had the WJ, man, I'd love to be on a little trail like that, you know? Into the Scorpion Crawler. Yeah, man. I mean, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Matt from Believe in Jeep is the reason I started this channel. I was watching his stuff, and I said, first of all, I wish somebody would do it for WJs, and second of all, if he can do it, why can't I do it? You know what I mean? I'm already out in the garage doing this stupid stuff. Why not record it? Matt is on a whole nother level, and he's taken his channel to a pretty wild place. I mean, I think all of us that do this kind of hope that maybe someday we get to hit those Bleep and Jeep numbers. But yes, basically, I would love to turn Willie into my version of the Scorpion Crawler. I don't know, man. Matt's pretty good at what he does, but maybe I'll challenge him. I don't know. If I ever get Willie all together, we'll challenge. You know what I want to do that he does? He does the 24 hours of straight wheeling. That's insane, man. And you know why? Because he lives someplace where he can do that. No, there are no trails like that around here. Freaking kills me, man. Matt's down in Tennessee, I think. Real nice area. I wouldn't mind it, man. I'm tied to Jersey. I love Jersey. My sister lives out in Montana. She says there's great wheeling out there. Basically, if I go anywhere but here, there's good wheeling. Where are y'all from? Is there any good wheeling? Dave, any good wheeling up in Canada? They allow you guys to mess around? Ceramic coating, Dan's asking about. I guarantee Eric's done that. Oh, just moved from that area last year. Moved to New Mexico, eh? Or up to, no, you said you moved up to Seattle from the desert. I got you. Two-door XJ40. Further north, right? Yeah. I also follow, this guy is crazy, Zip Ties and Bias Plies on YouTube. If you guys haven't seen Old Peg there, he is an insane Canadian. Like, I honestly didn't know that there were Canadian rednecks. I guess that sounds dumb now that I say it. Like, it just never occurred to me. All the Canadians I knew are literally from Montreal before I got into YouTube. So Eric actually sent me this video. He goes, dude, you gotta watch this. It's this guy just absolutely shoving ATF down the throat of his Ford diesel to create black smoke in a Walmart parking lot. If you can handle some real rough language and you like dirty old redneck antics, go check out Zip Ties and Bias Plies. Dude's insane, but he's just, his property, he's just got, there's just property all around where he's, I guess he's in the oil patches in Alberta there. And it kind of just seems like you can just drive off road wherever you want. Like, just go, you know? That'd be awesome, man. You know what? Off-roading has caused me to hate golfing. It's weird, right? Anytime I see a golf course, I'm just like, shit, man, I should be allowed to wheel out there, you know? It bothers me. It's just wasted land. Some crusty little dude. I know a lot of people like golf. I'm sorry. It's not a sport for me. And I'll be passing one, and I'm like, I kind of want to just duck off real quick and try to hit some of them greens there. Let's see, man. I get the feeling that you guys are having a, yeah, dude. Renegade knows. Zip Ties is crazy, man. I feel like you guys are probably having a better conversation in the comments than I'm having with myself here in the garage. By the construction site? Yeah, they're doing construction by my house. Well, the next town over, and they've been doing it for a while. And it was a farmer's field beforehand, and so I guess they had to grade it and everything. So for the longest time, it was just a big, wide open, muddy field. I was like, come on, man, let me get in there real quick. I'm not gonna do anything to it. I don't have a ton of land now, but if I ever do, I'm just gonna ruin it doing donuts. I'm not responsible enough to have land. Oh man. Oh. Chili challenge. Wait, Missouri's making an off-road park? That's pretty cool. Okay, Sparky asked about a 4BT swap. I've been wanting to do a 4BT swap to WJ since I've been owning WJs, man. I think that would be awesome. I've seen a couple people do them. It doesn't seem that hard. They fit in there great. It's such a small little engine. Someday I may do it. My big bummer here, and I don't understand how guys get around this, when you swap like a crazy motor into something, it still has to be inspected to be on the road, right? So like I swap a 4BT into my WJ. I need to have OBD2 to get inspected. That's how they do inspection here. So does that work? Does anybody know? What's this? Hell yeah, I'll be done. Redneck music video doing donuts and mud on my land. Yeah, buddy. That's what it is, you know? Oh man, I just love tearing it up. That's why I want to get this dirt bike going, because there's no place to wheel around here. But my property is a bunch of rocky woods land, and then it backs up to some fields where, if I'm respectful, I could ride. So no, I cannot take the WJ out and do donuts all over the place. But yes, I could take this dirt bike around, and we'll get Eric a quad, and we'll do some D&E, destruction videos out there in the woods. Do you hear that? There's a cricket in here. It's been in here for like literally 2 weeks. Every night when I'm down here, I hear him. Moved to a state with no inspection. I think that'd be down south, right? Where's there no inspection? Jersey's inspection is pretty good for up north. The only thing they do is plug it into an OBD2 scanner. If you have no codes and no pending, no, you can have pending codes. No codes, that's it. They don't care about a cracked windshield, bald tires, taillights out, none of that. In fact, when I got Little Buck, you guys may remember, windshield was shattered. I mean, from side to side, and they flagged me right through inspection. Minnesota, I'm a Bears fan. I can't move to Minnesota. Oh, man. I just want to live somewhere where there's no government intervention, man. It's such a bummer that we have to have conversations. Oh, inspection and where you can ride and all this. It's another conversation for another day. Manitoba, Canada. Car with safety. It doesn't pass your hands. Yeah, man. I'm trying to catch up with you guys here. Florida has no inspection. I like Florida, but I don't like dinosaurs and hurricanes, and you guys kind of have a plethora of them. Actually, though, my dad lives, well, he's got a house near West Palm Beach, and I took my Jeep down there one time, and I did find some cool wheeling. It's all sand wheeling, which I'm not very good at because I wasn't raised sand wheeling. I was raised on mud and rocks and stuff. So when I get in the sand, I always feel like I'm about to do something awful. And you guys see Dan H's video where as a kid they got the Jeep that thing, the Ford Explorer stuck. That's what I feel like I'm always an inch away from doing anytime I'm on sand. But Michigan, no inspection. I'd go to Michigan, Detroit City, right? What? Go see where all them pretty cars are built. Oh. Sparky asked what's tying me to Jersey, man. I said at the beginning of this video when I was talking about tools, I'm just not someone who's big into change. I like the idea. I was born in this town where I live right now. I work here now. My daughter was born here. I like the idea of just being here. That's really all there is to it. Yeah, man. Jersey's not all that bad in some ways. The climate, in my opinion, is perfect as far as it gets in the United States. Any hotter, and I'd be miserable all the time. Any colder, up north, my wife would be miserable all the time. We don't get huge weather events. We get a hurricane every once in a while, but we don't get tornadoes, we don't get mudslides, we don't get tsunamis, we don't get earthquakes. As far as the creatures that want to kill you, very few. No poisonous snakes, no alligators, no crazy whatever. I don't know, man. I do complain about Jersey, and for somebody who loves freedom as much as I do, it's a pretty rough place to be. But what are you gonna do? Trailer your rig. I would love to trailer my rig. I need a trailer that can do that and a rig that can pull it. What's your guys' thoughts on the 4.7 pulling a WJ? A 4.7 WJ. By the numbers, it's like close, and I'd have to be real careful about what trailer I got. If I could comfortably trailer my 4-liter with the 4.7 WJ, I could acquire a little trailer, I guess, and do it. In reality, though, I got to get a pickup for that, you know. Eric and I have been talking about getting a tow dolly. That's one way to do it. My big thing is if I drive out to Roush Creek in the WJ, and I've said this 100 times, and I break an axle, how the hell do I get home? You know what I mean? And then even with the tow dolly, if you snap your rear axle, you're stuck out there. That's all there is to it. So I really would love to get a setup where we could trailer. I don't know, maybe. Save them pennies, Eric. What do you say? Mosquitoes will kill you. That's true. Yeah, that's true. And we do have some poisonous snakes. I've seen copperheads around. I've been camping all over this state. They exist. We do have mountain lions that occasionally do something, bears, but in reality, I mean, and rattlesnakes. There are timber rattlers out here, though they're very rare, mostly down South Jersey. Get a gladiator to tow. Can I take a loan from you, buddy? Can't afford no gladiator. Oh, man. That's weird. One county in New Mexico has inspection. Albuquerque, that's it. That's a weird thing. We just had a friend, was it New Mexico or Arizona? She moved from here to there. Her license is good for, was it 20 years? I think it's Arizona. That blew me away. Here in Jersey, I mean, they're hitting you up for new license, new registration, new this, new that. Cash grab, cash grab, cash grab. Nope, their licenses are good for like 20 years. That's crazy. Oh, man. Yeah, Dan's pointing out that tow dollies don't need to be registered. So if nothing else, I think we want to get one so that we can just pick up vehicles we buy a little easier. I am not going to say on record some of the things we've done to get recently purchased vehicles home, considering we don't have a car trailer. I'm going to leave that up to the imagination and admit nothing ever. Yeah, man, it's about the size of it. Oh, goodness, what's going on here? Eric asks Dan how many Jeeps. I was thinking about that the other day. Dan, you had a crazy number of Jeeps now. Plus, I know you got some that we haven't even seen yet. Jersey Devil's no joke, man. In the Boy Scouts, we camp down in the Pine Barrens, which is the south part of Jersey, not where I live. It's everything's sandy, and instead of having the forests like we have up here, it's mostly pine trees, as the name implies, right? So the camping down there is really eerie because you're in like, there's no underbrush because it's all sandy, so it's just pine trees every 10 feet, you know? Yeah, man, we'd be camping down there. Scoutmasters would be talking about the Jersey Devil stories. It's creepy, man. It's real creepy. I'm into that stuff. Actually, I'm not. I scare very easily. Just to ask Eric and my wife. I don't do scary moves. You hear the cricket again? I think at this point we might just have to adopt him as the D&E mascot. Yeah. Let's see. Let's check on the little girl. I'm on babysitting duty as well. The executive producer is fast asleep. That's good. Yeah, I can tell these comments are on a very serious delay as far as when I get them, so trying to keep up in real time, but that's hard. Take a sip from Jerry over here. Oh, man. Hey, so one of the things I've got on deck, you guys saw I took apart the Mopar filter to see how good they are. That's the 090 filter. It goes on all the 4 liters and the 4.7 and a bunch of other stuff. And I always use the Mopar one. But I recently found out, well, I knew about it, but I recently acquired one. It's called the Viper filter. It's the same 090 filter, has the same inside thread diameter, same size, but it's built for the Viper motor. And allegedly the tin is stronger and there's more pleats and all that. Does anybody use the Viper motor on their 4-liter? You know, it's not a ton more, and the thought process is that it offers significant benefit above the stock one. My wife just got home, and so I bought one. I'm going to do a video. We're going to cut it open, do side by side. But before I do that, I'm curious if anybody knows, if anybody's used them. they fit right on. So I think a lot of the 4.7 Dodge guys use them. I've been on a couple of Dodge forums, but let's see. Rust-free Jeep, man, $1,200. Oh, Dan's listing all his Jeeps. Oh, that XK is a 2010? Is that the last year they made them, or did they make them till 2012? Someone will tell me. Are there Puerto Ricans in New Jersey? I mean, I imagine they're everywhere, right? If you go, so we're in northwest New Jersey. If you go northeast, you're right next to New York City, so much more urban. When you think of Jersey, if you're not from Jersey and you have an image of Jersey, it's probably of northeast New Jersey, out by the city. Where we live, as you guys have seen from us driving around, I mean, it's farmland out here, very rural. But yeah, man, we've got all kinds of people. I think we are the most diverse state, so kudos to us for that, if I'm not mistaken. Filter cost more, yeah, it was $8 on Rock Auto. So, I mean, these are like $6 at Wally World. So yeah, it definitely costs a little more. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. I think I got it over here. Nope, I lied. I'm not just going to leave you guys with a blank screen. I don't know where I put it, but yeah, you guys will see. I'm going to cut it open and we'll find out if it's worth anything. In the 4-liter, I didn't have any concerns about oil flow. In the 4.7, like I was saying at the beginning of the video, I've been watching so much Martin build, and that guy is so great, and he knows so much about the 4.7, but every time he opens his mouth, I find another thing to be paranoid about on the 4.7. Hey, Bug joined us. What's up, Bug? How you doing? Stoners, you buying a Honda, you said? What kind of Honda, man? That's a bummer. I was actually raised on Hondas. My dad was a Honda guy when I was growing up. Well, he was a Ford guy when I was very young, and then he got a real bad, he had 2 Fords in a row, a 88 F250 and a Taurus wagon that were just absolute garbage, and it turned him off. Went right to Japanese cars, bummer to say. Oh, man. Yes, I know I spelled that wrong. It's good, man. You spell it however you want to spell it. Fleeted WJ said Jersey's got the Mafia and Snooki. Snooki's not even ours. Actually, technically, Dan, isn't Snooki yours? All the people on Jersey Shore are from Long Island, and they just come down here to vacation. Jersey beachgoers... I don't know what Jersey beachgoers are like native Jersey beachgoers. I don't like the beach at all. I hate the heat. I don't really like sand. I like fishing quite a lot. I like going fishing. If you know the area at all, Sandy Hook. I got a little boat. We go right off Sandy Hook. Wife and I catch all the fluke and blue claw crabs you can eat. It's a damn good time, man. You have 4-wheel driver here. 4-wheel driver, do you make it onto everybody's comments then? Because I know you comment on every video, and not just like a, hey man, I like that. You give a comment. Seems like Bug knows you. That's cool, man. I say this all the time, man. I love the community we have here. Like, I'm not really saying anything, but it seems like there's a much better time going on in the comments there. I don't like sand. It's coarse and it gets everywhere. Is that awful line from the Star Wars? I think it is. Yeah, I agree there. Beast XIT, yeah, man. Saying that you bought a 4.7 has been great to you. Mine has been okay, but I don't know that I'll get another one when this one's gone. I love the 4-liter. I trust the 4-liter. I know the 4-liter, and honestly, I miss it. I just, like, if I'm driving down the road and the engine gives me a weird hiccup, if it was the 4-liter, before the hiccup's even done, I know what the problem was, and you know it's passed. Now, even though I haven't had any problems, I get that little hiccup and I'm like, shoot, if this thing just dies right now, I don't know I have no idea. I'm just going to be in there blind, hoping that it's something staring me in the face. So maybe if I was more familiar with the 4.7, I'd trust it more. You hear these stories though, man. Collapsed lifters and the thing grenades. Drop a valve seat and the thing grenades. Also, I think my rear main may be leaking a little bit, and unlike the 4-liter, it is not an easy fix. I'm not particularly amused by that. He said he got a ZJ from a beach town and it's all sandy. Yeah, man, I dig that. You go to a beach once with a vehicle and it's forever ruined as far as sand goes. Using Rotella T6. Yeah, man, I like all the Rotellas from T4 and up. I trust in the 4 liter, get that added zinc content. 1540 seems high. I go back and forth. I know there are people that run heavyweight oil. Either they're trying to stop a leak, or they're trying to fix oil pressure, or they live in a hot area. I have never noticed enough of a difference running heavier oil to make me keep doing it. Like if I had a leak and I put heavier oil and it still leaked. Um, Occasionally with my 2000 WJ, running a heavier oil will quiet down valve ticking on startup in the winter. Um, I don't know, man. You'd have to do the research on that yourself, Mopar man, and let us know. My research has said just run what it's supposed to have. Maybe a little bit of additive, a little bit of Lucas or something if you feel like you guys can't see that. The lighting is so weird down here. It's Lucas. If you feel like you want that little added protection, but the T6 for sure. Get that zinc in there, man. Swear by it. Wouldn't run anything else in it. Conversely, not necessary in the 4.7 because it is an overhead cam and there's no push rods and all that to deal with. Yeah, T5 is what I was using in the XJ. Nick, if you're still watching, I highly recommend you keep a zinc oil in that XJ. It was having some valve ticket issues, and yeah, Eric's chiming in on the 1540. It's a good point, man. It's going to bring down MPG. It might spike your oil pressure, but Nick, I was saying, Little Buck ran on zinc. Well, he ran without zinc when I bought him, and he had some valve ticket and everything. Put the zinc in, immediately quieted down. So I don't know if I told you that when you bought him, but highly recommend you keep that one moving. And four-wheel driver is coming in with exactly what I was saying. My experience, and it seems like other people's, has been if you change the viscosity, the benefits do not outweigh the potential issues. And there's a lot to be said. Hey, man, if you're having low oil pressure or you have valve ticking, try to fix that issue. You know what I mean? Is what I would say. I know when it's like a dirty old 4 liter and you got some valve tick and you're like, what, you think I'm going to tear this whole motor apart and rebuild it? You are absolutely not correct. You just got to weigh it out, man, you know? Yeah, Dave's talking about how the 4 liter doesn't like full synthetic. I don't know. That's not anything I'd ever heard. Huh. Stoners, where are you at? What location are you at? Talking about, oh, Colorado Springs? Yeah, I don't know anybody in Colorado. Somebody will, though. I would love to develop our Facebook into something like this because, like, people in all different parts of the country and everything, like, I wish we could get stoners an answer, you know what I mean? I don't know anybody in Colorado Springs, but I guarantee somebody that watches our channel does. And I've been trying for the longest, like, to think of how to build out the community a little bit more so that, so that we can do stuff like that. I'm on, like I was talking about at the beginning, I joined that Honda Hoarders channel to find information on this stupid paperweight. And there are people from all over the country. And it's just like, hey, man, anybody in Miami got a tank for a whatever, you know what I mean? And somebody's like, oh, yeah, Jerry's got one over there. Just head down the road a little bit. What's the Facebook page? It's just D&E in the garage. D, the and sign, E in the garage. Eric posts our videos on there. We occasionally get some other info on there. Yeah, just another outlet, a way to let you know what we're doing. Yeah, man, I cannot pronounce your name, but your picture is a panda bear. You're talking about the oil pressure sending unit. Is that what you're talking about? They are notoriously bad in the 4 liter. Notoriously bad. To the point where I added it when I had my 2002 WJ. I just kept spares. You know how if you got a WJ, you keep spare fan relays, you keep spare TPS sensors, and I started keeping spare oil pressure sending units. There's no worse feeling than you're driving on the highway and all of a sudden your oil pressure gauge just goes bing and pegs down. And you're like, well, do I have no oil pressure or did the sending unit just go out again? Thankfully for me, every single time the sending unit went out. Come and swap a WJ. We were talking about putting a 4BT in one. I would love to do that, man. That'd be so freaking awesome. My question was, so I'm here in Jersey, right? If your vehicle came from the factory with OBD2, you have to get inspection. So Eric's 93 ZJ, no inspection. If it was a 96 ZJ, though, it would have to have inspection. So I take a WJ. All of those came with OBD2, so they all need to get inspected. And I swap in a 4BT. Well, now I don't have any OBD2, right? I mean, unless there's somebody out there who's on some next level wire and stuff. I don't think so, though. Like, you're just not going to have the same visibility into that, so you can't get it inspected. So what do you do? Like, is that doable? I've been wondering that for a while, because you see people do all kinds of crazy swaps. 350 in everything. In fact, I see there's a 350 swapped XJ on Instagram that I follow, that's in New York, I think. So what does he do for inspection? You know what I mean? Or does he just not get it inspected? I don't know. Oh, bruiser conversions. That's not the pickup truck on the Wranglers, is it? Or is that, oh, that's some 4BT stuff? Yeah, I think we need to hire some of you people to come and be correspondents on D&E. You're giving more information than Eric and I could. This has been a fun little discourse. Yeah. Let's see. Lurkbat, they do 4BT conversions. I'm guessing if they do them, then they can get the wiring and stuff, right? Like, can they get my OBD2 to work? 40 seems good on the 4.7. Yeah, the oil pressure on my 4 liters used to waver a lot, but the oil pressure on the 4.7 is just steady. I mean, when you idle and then step on the gas, but real steady. And it was like almost disconcerting, because the XJ I had and my WJs would be all over the place, you know? Dealer tags. Listen, one of the things Eric and I would love to do is parlay this weird little YouTube thing into like a used car lot / like off-road upgrade. So we get ourselves a little shop, we get a dealer's license, so we can buy crappy old unibodies, fix them up, and sell them again. Plus, then you have dealer tags to roll around doing whatever you want. I looked into it, though. It is not cheap. The insurance alone is off the wall. I got a notification here. Like, the investment is several tens of thousands of dollars in Jersey to become a car dealer, which is annoying, man. Like, just let me sell cars. I hate that. I hate that. There's no reason. It's just a cash grab. Let me sell cars. What do you care? What are you going to do, man? All right, well, here's what's going on, guys. I need to get a little bit of actual work in on the Honda turret over here tonight. So I'm going to shut this down. I'm going to go and Bug, to answer your question real quick. Yes, Eric and I have been thinking about a podcast. You will notice that the quality of what you're witnessing right now is not particularly great. Not good enough for what I'd want on a podcast. Dave, I will hit you up tomorrow. I didn't forget about you. I'm just a wildly disorganized person. So we want to do a podcast. So first we need to get some good microphones and probably a good setup for that. And then, I mean, this has been fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You stuck with me for an hour, but this would not be a podcast enough. You know, this is just me bullshitting. Oops, slipped, sorry. So we'd want to get some good content and maybe try to figure out how to like get other YouTubers, Bug, Dan, Kyle, John at JTM, like get them on and like do something like that. So Eric and I are working on it. We'd love to do the podcast. As you guys know, I love the sound of my own voice. I love to talk. Love to talk to you fine people. Yeah, man. Content over quality. I don't know what that means. What do you mean, Dave? Here's our mascot again. Hey, Mopar, man. Thanks, buddy. Let's do yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. Dan, hey, that reminds me. Why not put you on the spot on the air here? Are we still good for next month? Dan was going to come out and we were going to do some barbecue. Let me know, Dan. I don't know. Meant to be good content. Don't care what the quality it comes in. Oh, okay, man. I get that. Yeah. And that was our motto. When we started the channel, I was like, I don't care. I don't want to mess around with all this camera stuff and worry about that. I just want to put out what I know. And that's what we did for a long time. You know, our videos, even today, the quality, video quality is not where other channels are. I'm okay with that. And Eric and I are working on it. We're trying to get better, but I just want to get what content that I want to watch out there. Not that anybody else doesn't do that, but yeah, man, I dig what you're saying, Dave, is what I'm getting at. Should do a PB Blaster barbecue burger. I might take you up on that, buddy. Oh, man. All right. I'm really going to sign off now. Everybody who joined in and added to this live stream here, thank you. I was bored tonight. I didn't have anything to do. The wife was out. And now I had something to do. I'm going to go get my hands just a little bit greasy, trying to argue with that electrical. And then I'm going to go back and read all these comments because it looks like there was a party going on. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time. How do I shut it off? I don't have my IT guy here. Oh, I need to do it on here. Peace out, guys. I'm trying. God, I'm an idiot. Okay, here we go. Night, guys.